Hi, welcome once again to another edition of the Dixon on Disney Archives, where we are kind of wandering through my office looking at stuff that I've picked up along the way that has been given to me, something that is related to the world of Disney. And I want to share it with you and maybe the story behind getting it or how I got it or what it means. How about that? And so today we're going to go back. If you are a longtime Walt Disney World fan, you know that in 1971, some 50 years ago, that's when everything lit up for the very first time. There were some initial attractions that were there that had been repeated from what had been happening in Disneyland. One of the attractions that was developed that was very much fun when Walt Disney World opened, and one that really in display put on what is classic Disney, was the Country Bear Jamboree. Now it's been redone, revamped, the show's been changed over the years, and the theater's been changed a bit over the years, and there's always a holiday layover that they will do, periodically, that, kind of gives you that full bore, feel-good country kind of thing. Interestingly enough, it is an attraction that Walt did work on, that he giggled over and laughed at. And then also at the same time, it features, animatronics, that stuff that Disney was so pioneering in, on full display. And so recently, I got notification that somebody was having an estate sale, and they were Disney collectors. And did I want to come by and take a look? And so my son and I took a road trip, and we went out to find some things, and this is what we found at that particular event. If you're a Country Bear Jamboree fan, you will recognize this as Big Al. This is Big Al, and this is Big Al in that Country Bear Jamboree pose. It's kind of mid-song. He does that classic blood on the saddle, blood all around, a great big puddle of blood all around, that song. And then he keeps making those appearances over and over again, where he kind of comes back in and the spotlight hits and stuff like that. Eventually, there's a crash and a burn and it's over with. But Big Al is that big bear that shows up stage, on the left-hand side of the stage, that everybody just laughs at. It is an interesting little piece. This is actually a ceramic piece. And if you go back and do research on it, it actually came out in the early 70s, right around the time that Walt Disney World opened, 1971. If you do a closer dive on it, you realize, oh, this is designed to be a bank, and it is. There's a slit in his head. But then it's got the markings around the bottom on the base that mark it as Walt Disney Productions. Now, I'm not going to tell you how much I paid for it at the estate sale, but I can tell you I got a good deal on it. But if you go out and eBay it and find one in this condition, you're going to find that you now have a little bank that's worth a few $100s simply because it's out of circulation. They don't make things like this anymore. So for me, it was a great pickup and a great find and a lot of fun. The reason it has more value than that to me, though, is because of the experience I had with my son. My son was the one that spotted it. My son was the one that kind of went across the room and said, "Dad, this is Big Al from the Country Bear Jamboree. You don't have this." And he was the one that actually found it. So for me, I'm being a little bit more skeptical of what are we looking at there, and don't break it and don't drop it. Took it from him and took a look at it and realized what I was holding in my hand and realized that on sale at this estate sale, as promised, were Disney collectible pieces. And so I picked it up. For me, it's as valuable for the road trip and the fact that my son found it as it was for me being able to make it a part of the archive collection. See, that's how memories work, right? It's not just what it involves. It's not just the thing that you're doing, but it's who you're doing it with and the moment that it creates. And that's what gives it value. And so this now sits on my shelf with all the other Disney stuff that you find in the room. And that's this edition of the archives. And so when you ever see one of these, pick it up. It's a good deal and it's a good collectible piece. And they don't make them like this anymore. So until next time, take care.